My dear friends, I'm Junichi Chida. Your friend Connie blocked me to introduce myself into video to friends across the Pacific Ocean. I'm Junichi Chida. I was born and brought up in Tibet of Japan. It's called Iwateken. It's a country. I would say it's more like Oklahoma of Japan, Connie. And I spent about 20 years there, and I came to Tokyo and started working for this company. I think you know this, Time Magazine. I brought this Time Magazine from Connie's, what do you call it, the place, shit house? Oh, what is it, the place? A toilet, I'm sorry. I used to work for Time Life for 4.5 years as a coordinator between reserved and quiet Japanese and outspoken and noisy Americans. And after working for Time Life, I was headhunted by the president of AIU and started working as a risk manager or underwriter, automobile underwriter for 13 years. And I quit working for AIU last year and started my own business. It is, what do you call it, my new business? Anyway, cross-cultural business. Go ahead. I'll repeat after you. No? Okay. The name of the company is ICI, or International Communications Inc. And ICI is a representative of, you know this paper, USA Today, and Voice of America, PBS, or Public Broadcasting Service, and APR, American Radio, what? APR, American Public Radio?
American Public Radio.
And also the representative of Smithsonian and U.S. News and World Report. It's very international and I would say very American company, though it's small. And the president of ICI and me started new business. Me as the president for the new company, which is called ICC, or International Communications Consultant. And my first job was kind of cable radio program called Hello USA Today. It's a disc jockey program using USA Today, and disc jockey called, what's her name? Valerie Kane. The NHK's Japan radio, what is it? NHK. Nippon Hoso Kabishiki Kaisha? Japan, no, not Japan Today. Not Today's Japan. NHK's English programs teacher. I hired her, and she's working as a disc jockey, and she introduces USA Today news, both in Japanese and in English. That was my first job. And my second job would be to set up or to create USA Today's correspondence calls. Yeah. Does it make sense? Yeah. Correspondence course is called English Triathlon. It's a combination of TOEIC test, which is something like a TOEFL test developed by ETS, or Education Testing Service in America, and Voice of America for listening comprehension material, and also USA Today as a reading material. This would start in this fall. So that's what I'm doing. And what else? Biggest 5, 3, 2, 4 years. My chin-chin is small. I mean, what is chin-chin?
Don't you dare talk about that.
My chin-chin is small, but it's high quality. It's like Sony Walkman, but my chin-chin doesn't work. It's something like a high quality machine gun, right? Made 3 kids in 4 years. Incredible. I didn't make any, what is it, a birth control or family planning?
No family planning.
No family planning. Because I had no rubber. I have never used it before.
Never?
Never.
In your whole life you've never used a purple?
I tried.
It kept coming off?
Yeah, always. Man, it's too small, as small as, what, matches.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. So what am I talking about? So my dear handsome American friends, I know where I am.
So
This is Connie's friend speaking. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. But I love boating in the river and also into the ocean, but it's kind of too dangerous to get into the ocean where I live. But motorboating is fun. I like
Why do you like the motorboat?
Hmm?
Why do you like the motorboat?
Because it moves.
Moves where?
Moves.
I mean, sailboats move, bicycles move.
Mm-hmm. It moves on the water.
Sailboats move on the water.
But
Huh?
why do you give me such a silly question?
Well, why a motorboat and not a sailboat?
Something I get, I don't like about American is that Americans give me so many whys and demand me to answer in because, right? Because in Japan we exchange our views and opinions through hara, stomach, not with words. That's not true. Do you think it's true?
So you...
Communication through haras was stomach. Many people say that harage or belly art or stomach art or communication through hara instead of words. But I don't think it's not good for Japanese. Have to be more international. Have to expand in words. But when it comes to why, because games, Japanese are not not accustomed to or not used to get into, Japanese are not accustomed to the why, because game or not used to a why, because game.
So they're not accustomed to answering?
No, Japanese are not accustomed to answering with because. But I'm talking about why, because game.
I don't think anybody in America knows about anything about the why because game. And they splashes on me. I don't think...
I asked it because you give me many whys.
I don't think people in America have played the why because game. I think that's a Japanese phenomenon.
Japanese phenomenon to the what?
The why because game.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You mean kind of debate? No.
No, it's different from debate. Why because?
Why because? Why because?
Maybe an exercise that didn't your sensei introduce you to the why because game? Who did? Where did you first hear about it?
My sensei.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your sensei. Didn't he first introduce you to that?
Yeah, why because?
Where did he come in contact with it? Did you ask him that?
In his office.
In his office? He developed it?
No. He was interested in debate. And, to be a good debater, according to my sensei or mentor, you have to get used to why because games, or Western logic. Because Japanese logic is not why because. It's more like, suggestion and lots of implication and reading between the lines or reading between the lips, yeah, kind of communication.
And so that communication, it appears to me that that type of communication, reading between the lines, implications, could lead to a great deal of misunderstanding.
Yes, it does. But if he is a master of, Japanese way of communication, he can read. If he can't,
So he can. So a
if you
master-
misunderstand, then we'd be saying, oh, he's immature. He still don't know how to read his stomach. Right? So it's really frustrating for Japanese youngsters to understand and read the real intention of the older people, or the intention of the bosses, right? Because they don't frankly express their feeling and opinions or
because the bosses
direction.
don't. Because the bosses don't.
They used to.
really?
It used to. Yeah.
And
Now it's changing.
do you think the use of the hara and the reading between the lines and the being sensitive to the truth behind the implication is changing in Japan?
It's
becoming
changing.
Less
less
prevalent, less used.
Less used.
People are depending more and more on direct
Communication.
verbal communication.
Yeah, right.
As a,
And we have to be so.
you think that's because of a Western influence,
Because of Western influence.
not because it hasn't been successful? Is this an area where Japan is giving up something that has been very successful?
I wouldn't use the
Something
word
that-
giving up, but Japanese younger generation,
Just aren't developing.
just developing, and it gets more, frustration. Why do you give me, more direct, opinion or frank opinion, or when they, imply something, now, Japanese youngsters would say, so what? Right? So I think it's a good reaction.
You think it's better to
I think it's better.
not develop that sensitivity to read the implication? And it's better to
In business situation,
business.
it's going to be better. And also in international stage, like in the communication between Japanese and non-Japanese, we have to be more frank. If we use Japanese way of, implication method, you'd get a loss. Yeah.
Well, unless, generally I suppose that's true, most international businessmen depend on having what they call the cards laid out on the table. Have the situation just clearly, presented.
Brother, what are you cooking?
Chicken?
Chicken?
Did I go in here immediately?
This is a multi-purpose. This could be a bathrobe, as Connie said, and this could be a pajama, and also this could be a official outfit when we go out in summer, and this could be what else?
Wear that out in public?
Yeah, with geta, the sound of clop of geta. It's shoes like what is geta?
I saw a man on the street in Shibuya with that one of those on one day in the summertime.
Geta is what, wood sandal?
Wood sandals?
Yeah, wooden sandals. Wearing wooden sandals with yukata would be one of the most relaxing outfit for Japanese, particularly in summer. This is called yukata. And on yukata, Connie, you can read this, huh?
Huh? No, I can't.
These are all the names of fish.
Oh, fish.
Yeah. I can't read at all, What is this? Katsuo bonito? Most of them I can't read.
Why?
It's so hard, I can't get good score in spelling bees. I'm not a good speller of a Chinese character. For example, I can't read this. No, 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 no.
So that's why you
This could be ebi or shrimp. No. 1 out of 10. I met Connie last December at a Christmas party called, it's a kind of get-together of East-West discussion group. It's a kind of cross-cultural get-together in Japan. It's held once a week in Roppongi, Tokyo. And we talk about different topics like English education in Japan, Korean Prime Minister's visit to Japan, and US-Japan relationship or trade friction, and so forth. It's a very interesting group of people. And last year, it was the year-end party, Christmas party, and that's where I met Connie. She was in blue jeans. She really looked like a country woman. You did?
Yes.
And I looked like a New Yorker, didn't I? No? So Japanese New Yorker and American Tibetan met in the party, and something strange.
Is that the word you want to use?
Yeah, I'd like to use something strange, some strange feeling, struck my, what's the best word? Hit it off. Yeah?
Huh?
Hit it off
Yeah,
very quickly. Kind of good chemistry. It took me about 2 seconds until I get friendly with Connie in the meeting, because she was really frank, candid, and looked nice, looked young for her age. Can I say?
that's fine.
Okay, good. She looked like a 23, 24-year-old lady. And actually you're 36, but it's okay. You laugh at me. I don't know. And Connie's Japanese is really great. Great. She tries to speak Japanese, and actually it's a sound, not a language, but it does communicate, right? It works. And she speaks very formal, classy Japanese. But she doesn't remember, so she can't use it in the actual situation. She writes some Japanese sentences in the paper and put it in the toilet. Yeah, and try to remember it. And Connie is enjoying very much staying in Japan, including causing traffic accident. She hit the ass of the Japanese actress's car. I tried to help her to settle the claim, because I used to work for an insurance company as an underwriter, but not as an adjuster. So I couldn't give her the perfect advice, but it's working, I hope. Say goodbye. Now look. Do I look better?
Yeah.
Well, I've changed my clothes from yukata, bathrobe, to business suit. And it's almost time for me to leave here. It takes about 2.5 hours to get home. It's a long way.
Long
right?
journey.
Long journey. It'll take about 45 minutes to get to Tokyo Station, and from Tokyo Station it takes about almost 2 hours to get home.
So,
And the frogs are waiting for me.
the frog.
Yeah, the frogs are
What
waiting.
frog?
Frogs in the paddy rice field.
Oh.
Yeah. I live in the countryside.
I live in
Yeah.
the
Yeah. Right. So Connie's dressed up. Me too. And my dear handsome American friend. Friends. You have more
Some
than...
of them are women.
So my dear handsome American friends. Connie will be back home very soon, but please take care of this adorable little creature. Thank you very much, and see you. If you come to Japan, I'll take care of you. Yeah. Bye-bye. Thank you.